Hello everyone, welcome to DSTE Presents Twin Peaks, Part 16. My name's John.
My name's Nick.
Hi Nick, good to see you again.
You too, John.
Only one more week of saying that now. One
I know,
week away
yeah.
from the finale.
Second to last episode. Can't wait for the next episode.
Yeah.
I mean,
By that point, we will have podcasted for 16 weeks of TV. Well, 17 if you include Mulholland Drive in the middle of it.
oh God, yeah.
I forgot about that.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed doing it, and as much as I'm excited for the finale, I will be gutted when we're not doing it anymore.
Yeah, got a break.
But
Yeah.
like you say, we'll have a bit of a break, so I'm
Yeah.
excited for that.
Yeah, so got one more week after this one, but we'll just jump straight into it if you're okay with that.
Definitely, go ahead.
This is a big episode. We get quite a few things we've been waiting for. We get quite a few things we've been trying to find out revealed. So, yeah, just jump into it. And we pick up with Evil Dale, Evil Cooper, Mr. Cooper, whatever you want to call him. He's driving Richard Horne after the last episode when they met up.
Yeah.
I found it quite funny. When he picked him up in the last episode, Cooper tells him, well, we'll talk in the car. And by the look of it, there's no talking going on.
I know, they're completely silent like the whole way, aren't they?
Yeah, they're driving all the way. I'll be honest with you, I've only put something together tonight about half an hour ago when I was thinking about this, but they drive to a location and it's coordinates that Evil Cooper's been given. And they both get out the car and they shine the flashlight from the Jeep or truck, whatever it is, up to a big rock on the top of the hill. And he's like, I've been given three coordinates. Two of them match exactly. What would you do if you were given that information to Richard? And he's like, well, I'd check the two that match. And he's like, yeah, perfect, genius. Go up there and check it. So what I'm taking from this is basically he's been given three coordinates. One by the Bowie kettle.
Mm-hmm.
One by Ray, who he killed in the arm wrestling thing the other week. And one by Diane, which she got from the arm of Ruth Davenport.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know which one to believe. I think the two that match are the Bowie kettle and Ray, because they're fake coordinates. They're trying to send him somewhere to kill him. Oh. The one that doesn't match is the Diane coordinates, which is the correct one, which is the Sheriff Department of Twin Peaks, because she found it weeks ago on the location finder.
Oh, that makes sense.
So I'm just assuming this location is the two that matched. He sends his son Richard Horne up to go and check it out.
Why? Like, how did they know that this would be the location it was, though? Because as we find out in this scene, it's not the safest of places to be.
No.
How did they know this?
Well, I think that's the trap. They've left the trap there for him
they've
to
actually
kill him.
left
I
the
think
trap.
so, yeah. And giving him the coordinates deliberately, knowing it'd then kill him. But Evil Cooper being smart, has sent Richard up instead and sacrificed his own son to check whether it was the correct coordinates.
We don't find out this out until the end of the scene, though, do we?
Yeah.
That is this son.
He sent Richard up there, and while he's climbing his way up, Jerry Horne finds his way out of the woods, runs over in some stupor with binoculars, trying to look the wrong way through the binoculars to see what's going on. But I've only just realised the significance of that. They're at Twin Peaks. I didn't even put it together. Because he's there watching it. It means they're at Twin Peaks. And he's watched his nephew die, because it's his nephew into Richard Horne. So while all this is going on, Richard Horne gets to the top of this rock thing, and is like, I'm here, and then it just kills him. He just goes up in a ball of flame.
It's like electricity, isn't it?
Yeah, like electric flame, and his head's just left at the end, and then it just like a firework goes off kind of thing. And Evil Cooper's just like, goodbye, my son, or whatever.
And that's where we find out that is his son.
Yeah, and that's the only use he had for him, just to check out. I mean, I don't know whether he's been sent to the Black Lodge or something now, I've no idea. But
he looked like he was killed in a very painful way, if I'm honest with you.
Definitely. Evil Cooper turns around and drives off, but Jerry Horne is just having a freak out on top of that hill, watching it through the binoculars the wrong way around.
Yeah, I think at the after he sees it as well, after he sees Richard be killed, he starts blaming the binoculars, like, "Oh, bad binoculars."
Yeah, it's so weird.
It's like, but he is a bit of a weird character though, Jerry, isn't he?
Yeah, a bit of an oddball. Are you okay to jump onto the next scene? We then jump to who I now know is called Chantal and Hutch. I've been calling them Tim Roth and Jennifer Jason Leigh for the whole series.
Chantal and Hutch, that's well.
Yeah, Gary Hutch, I think it's called. and they pull up at Dougie Jones's house with the intention of killing him, I believe. They were told by Evil Cooper, kill, I think he was called something Duncan Todd, the Vegas casino man, and kill Dougie Jones in Vegas. They killed one last week. They've come now to kill Dougie Jones.
Yeah.
So they're parked up, like staking out the house. And while they're doing that, the clown FBI people from the last few episodes finally turn up. They've finally got the right man this time. They turn up at the house, but he's not home because we know he's in hospital.
Yeah.
And these FBI clowns are just like, oh my God, he's not here. Stake it out and wait until he comes back. Tells this little helper dude to wait here, stake it out until he comes back and let me know when he does. So now we've got Chantal and Hutch and the FBI both on opposite sides of the street staking out Dougie Jones's house. That's all we get really in that scene. We then just have a quick flash of Dale in a coma in hospital. Bushnell Mullins is there, the manager of the insurance company. Janie Jones and Sonny Jim are all there just watching over him. Bushnell's asking how he is, when he's saying he looks good considering and stuff like that. And while all this is going on, the Mitchums turn up. The Mitchums are fast becoming my favourite new characters.
I love these two. I think they're amazing.
Like James Belushi, I don't want to say a bit of a joke, but he became just a bit of a kind of he was doing rubbish films and stuff like that. He was quite big in the 80s, James and John Belushi. But in the 90s and 2000s, he's kind of...
Are they both brothers or...?
Oh, sorry, James and John Belushi are brothers, but John Belushi's died. But they were both dead popular in the 80s.
James Belushi, I'm guessing he's not the one that was in Prison Break.
No, sorry, that's Robert Nepper, the other guy. Yeah, Teabag, yep.
So we've got Teabag.
And James Belushi,
Belushi.
But he was dead popular back in the 80s and stuff. He did K9.
Oh, yeah, no.
Remember the film with the dog and stuff? He was quite a popular comedian, a comic actor. But he's fell off the map. But Lynch has given him this part, and he's amazing again.
No,
I think he's fantastic.
I love him. Yeah.
He's funny. He's likable. Him and Robert Nepper, they're both great. But they turn up with just a load of trays of sandwiches.
Trays of sandwiches and all sorts, don't they? We just want to make you comfortable while you're here because I'm sure you don't want to eat the hospital food and all that.
Yeah, telling Sonny Jim, eat something. Sonny Jim, you've got to keep your strength up while your dad's in a coma. I
mean, these two are supposed to be mob bosses and just the most likeable characters in the world.
They're great, aren't they? We'll come back to that in a minute, actually, to be honest. But that's all we really get in that scene. The Mitchums come in, give them the food, and are just inquiring about...
I think in this scene, though, they actually ask for a key from Janie E, don't they?
Oh, so that's the big deal, yeah. They ask Janie E, can we have a key for your house? And she's like, why? He's like, we want to stock your house for you, so you're not wanting for anything kind of thing. And she's like, oh, you're so wonderful. And she's like to Sonny Jim, these are the people who bought you your jungle gym and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Don't they say to him, every kid deserves a jungle gym, don't you think, Sonny Jim?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, it's amazing. We then get a very brief scene of Gordon Cole back in the hotel, surrounded by technology that looks like it's from 1982 or something. Do you notice that?
Yeah.
It's cutting back and forth from the... technology keeping Dougie Cooper alive, the heart monitor and stuff, and it flashes to Gordon Cole in this room surrounded by old technology, but it looks like the heart monitor's almost just dotted around him. And he's just stood there, just kind of meditating in the middle of the room, just doesn't do anything, doesn't say anything. It's just a really weird scene. And we then jump back from there. We go back to the hospital again. And... Janie and Sonny Jim just have to go to the toilet. I don't know.
I think Sonny Jim asks, it says, I need to wait, and Janie is just like, we'll go and find you a little boy's room.
Yeah, so while they go off, they leave Bushnell with Dale, I think. But again, we'll jump out. This is one of those episodes that just jumps back and forth constantly. We then jump to the Mitchums, arriving at the Jones house in Vegas. They pull up in the white limo, followed by a food truck. And both Chantal and Hutch and the FBI are like, what the hell is going on? They let themselves into the house with trays of sandwiches, just loads of catering and food and stuff. And while all this is going on, a neighbour pulls up in his white accounting car. You know, it was Zalowski accounting or something. Yeah. And he can't pull into his driveway because Chantal and Hutch ever so slightly blocking the way into his driveway.
Yeah, I don't think they were really blocking it at all. He was just being a dick, wasn't he?
He was, and he gets. I'm sure I've seen this guy in something else as well. This bald guy, and I can't think what it is. But he's fuming, and he's like, "Get out of the way, I need to pull into my driveway." And they're like effing and jeffing, going, "Fuck off, we were here first," or whatever. So he just gets back into his car and just starts ramming the van they're in, which starts like this massive shootout. We've been discussing it in work, very like Tarantino-esque.
It was very, very. I did get that feeling from this scene, like, yeah,
definitely. And I mean, not just because like Tim Roth and Jennifer Jason Leigh are in it. Going back to what I'm sure we've discussed this before. People always say that his stuff's Tarantino-esque, but Tarantino copied him first. Do you know what I mean? Like, his stuff is Lynch-esque kind of thing. Yeah. So it's just like a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of thing. Tarantino copied him, and people now say he's copying Tarantino kind of thing. But yeah, big shootout occurs. Chantal and Hutch try to get away, and this neighbour guy just guns them both down in the truck with an Uzi.
like I think obviously you see Chantal getting like taken down like quite quickly, but there's this very drawn out thing with Hutch, that is Tim Roth, isn't it? Yeah. But like you see him getting shot, and like he's just kind of stood there, taking all these bullets, but he keeps shooting him, and he just still stood there taking all these bullets.
Yeah, it's got like a million squibs.
I swear it goes on for a good minute, just him being shot. It's like, wow, this guy's taking a lot of bullets.
Absolutely wastes him, and eventually the truck just rolls to a stop, like in one of the houses.
Yeah.
Tim Roth's absolutely like hamburger by this point. The guy just goes to turn and walk away, but then the FBI are like, "Freeze, FBI!" And it's like they've done nothing the whole time.
I know, yeah.
Just watch this murder go on.
Oh God, I loved it.
I thought at first the guy was going to turn on the FBI and like take
I
them out
did,
as well,
yeah. But no, he just drops his gun, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And
So they arrest him.
I think was it the FBI or who says it now? Oh no, it was the Minchum brothers. The Minchums, they're just like, but yeah, what kind of neighbourhood is this?
Yeah, like, what kind of fucking neighbourhood is this? And Robert Knepper's like, people are very stressed nowadays.
Very stressed, so they just shoot out of van. Amazing.
It's great. I love the whole scene. That's one of my highlights of the show so far, I think.
It was amazing. I loved that scene.
Although, saying that, we're going to jump now to, I think, possibly my highlight of the season so far.
I think if I'm correct, I might agree 100% on that.
We jump back to the hospital, and it's just Bushnell now waiting with Dale, but he can hear some kind of weird whistling noise. Did you notice that?
I don't know if I did.
I've only just put this together again. He heard like a weird whoop, coming from like outside in the hallway, and it led him outside.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't hear it, but I got from his reaction that he heard something which led him out. I didn't realise there was a noise there, though.
I'm sure. I mean, I'll have to double check. I've only watched it the once, but I'm sure there's a whistling noise. But just thinking, it's like the noise in the Great Northern Hotel.
See, I didn't actually hear this noise, but at the same time, I don't think I was hearing much in the Great Northern Hotel. But while he was walking out, I was like, I wonder if this is the same noise that was being heard in the... I actually thought this when I was watching it, so...
I've only just put that together now. It's like a tone almost, just a... So Bushnell leaves, and Dale just wakes straight up out of the bed, and he has a vision of Mike, the one-armed man in the Black Lodge.
Yeah.
And he just says to him, like, "Finally, you are awake," or whatever, in his backward talking. I just look, just straight away, he's just back into Dale Cooper. Just like, 100%. Oh, it's so good. The way he just snaps back into character.
I've been waiting for the 16th episode now.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for 16 episodes for Dale Cooper to come back. And I don't know, I feel like it's come at the perfect time still. I love it.
Yeah, I absolutely... I told you, I messaged you last night, I was like, I was welling up at certain bits of it. Like, it was like, just like nostalgic, just a weird nostalgic thing.
Definitely.
Because even though he looks a bit older, he's still playing it like Dale Cooper from like 1991. You know what I mean? It really is good. And the one-armed man tells him the lowdown, basically saying that you went out, but the other one didn't come back in. And he gave him the owl ring, the jade ring.
Yeah, said take this with you.
Yeah. And when he mentioned that he didn't come back in, it shows the little gold seed.
He did, yeah.
Which we now know they're called seeds because that's what Cooper's calling them.
Yeah.
And Cooper tells him, "I need you to make me another seed." And he takes a lock of his hair and gives it to him. And my theory with that, as I mentioned to you in work today.
Well, before you go on, we were talking about this earlier, and I said to you, didn't I, that I thought that maybe Cooper was the one that made Dougie in the first place.
Yeah.
You very quickly shut me down, but for a good reason, because I feel like your theory was more.
Well, I don't know if it's correct or not, but
I feel like it had a lot more premise than mine. Like my theory that Cooper was the one that made it was purely because he knew what the seed was and he asked for another one.
Yeah.
But what if you want to go into it, that made a lot more sense.
The one-armed man mentions that these things are manufactured, so I think the evil Cooper manufactured Dougie Jones as a decoy so that he wouldn't get pulled back in. Dougie Jones would get pulled back in first. And that would explain why Dougie Jones was a bit shit. Like, he was cheating on his wife with prostitutes and stuff, gambling problems, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think now Cooper has given him a lock of his hair to make another seed, but from good Cooper to leave with Janie E and Sonny Jim. But that'll be a good version of Dougie Jones.
No, that actually makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that we'll get back to that in the finale next week. But he does that, and the one-armed man leaves him be. And Bushnell comes back in and is like, oh my God, and I'm actually I think Janie E and Sonny Jim come back in at this point. And they're like, oh my God, Dougie, you're awake. And like Dale's first reaction is to like pat the bed for Sonny Jim, like to sit down next to him.
Well, I actually think that Bushnell comes in first, like you say.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's like, Bushnell, give me the sandwiches.
Yeah, I'm starving, Bushnell, get me those sandwiches.
And he's like, oh yeah, yes, Dougie.
Yeah. Just such a Cooper thing to do. Like, it's great. And then Sonny Jim comes in. This is what I love as well. I was thinking, like, when he wakes up, will he have any memory of what's been going on for the last, 15 episodes?
Yeah, I thought this myself.
And just the fact he remembers all of it, I'm like, oh, it's perfect. Like, he won't have to break the heart. Well, he kind of does anyway. But he won't have to break the heart so much. And get Sonny Jim up on the bed with him and stuff. And just go straight back to business, basically. He's Janie, go and get a doctor in here to give me to check me out because I want to get out today, kind of thing. And the whole point of this scene is really that he's given a clean bill of health. He can leave straight away.
Yeah.
And he leaves a message with Bushnell for Gordon Cole.
It
says, Gordon Cole will phone here asking about me, tell him this, and Bushnell puts the note in his pocket, kind of thing.
I feel like, who was it who said it now? There was like, oh, the FBI are on the way as well. The FBI called, they're on the way. And he went, Bushnell. Oh, good, fantastic. But then he just fucks off. I'm just like, hang on.
Oh no, that's the big thing at the end. I love that. At the very end, he's leaving and Bushnell's like, what about the FBI? And he turns around and goes, I am the FBI.
Yeah.
Like the theme kicks in and stuff and he just walks out. I was like, oh my God. That is amazing.
I can understand why you'd cry at that point. That would make that.
Yeah,
that
it's like I was walling up. I was like, oh my God, that is
amazing. My heart fluttered in that bit. I was like, oh, God, that's amazing.
Just nostalgia, like in the theme kicking in and stuff. Like, it was so good. He leaves and to go and get in the car with Janie and Sonny Jim.
I mean, I don't know what point it is, but I love. He might be in the car in this bit, but I just love how he's got his little flask of coffee. Yeah. Like, he's always got this coffee on him.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Dale Cooper.
Yeah, back to being Dale again straight away. Actually, a bit before he left the hotel, he phoned the Mitchums at home and said, Mitchums, I need a plane to...
I need you to meet me in the lobby of the casino.
That's right,
I need you to get a plane ready.
Plane to Spokane, Washington. But even them two are like, yep, no problems, Dougie, we'll get that done. Straight away, like, James Belushi is like, what's Dougie up to now? Like, that Dougie Jones.
It's so good, I love it.
We're loving it. So they head straight off to the casino in the car. And at first, Janie's going to drive. And Dale's like, don't worry, I'll drive. And like moves her out the way. And she like speeds down the highway. And Sonny Jim's like, Dad can drive good.
That's so good. I love it.
During all this, the theme's just been playing over the whole thing. We then transition from that to Diane in the hotel. And did you notice at that point that the Twin Peaks theme stops? It's still playing over this bit as well. She checks her phone and she's got a text message from Cooper earlier in the episode with a smiley face saying all
smiley face, wasn't it?
And something about it just seemed to trigger something in her, like...
It literally, like, the look on her face, like she was just drinking, and obviously, like, she's not ever been in, like, she's never looked to be a happy person throughout the season, but this point, like, she just looked so fucking I don't know, the look on her face was just distraught.
Yeah.
It's like, wow. But yeah, this all smiley face really sets them off in her. And she was almost like sweating and shaking as well. Yeah. She just looked terrified almost.
Am I right in thinking, though, she replied to him at this point with the coordinates?
She instantly replied with like a bit like, I'm assuming these are the coordinates which, as you were talking about before, which she sent to him, and they were the correct ones if your theory is correct. I'm assuming you are correct.
Which lead to the sheriff department at Twin Peaks. We'll get back to that at the end. But she replies with that, and she then heads up to Gordon Cole's room in the hotel.
Before you go on, I'm sure you're probably going to bring this up, but just last week you were talking. I can't remember if it was on the pod or off the pod, but you mentioned to me of David Lynch's own music, and I think you played me off. I know this was off the pod, but you played me a snippet of his music, and I think it was this song actually that you played.
Yeah, it was Susie. I think I played your Clown something.
This one's called American Girl, isn't it?
Oh, so it wasn't this one. It was something Clown something I played.
No, but this one that was played, it was called American Girl.
Is that what it was? I didn't check, to be honest.
At the end credits, it was called American. I think it was American Girl, American Woman. It might have been something like that. But it sounded very familiar to me because it sounded very much like what you played me. Obviously, like if what you're saying is correct, it's not the same song, but yeah, like as soon as it played, I got really excited at this because like we see Diane walking up a corridor and this music played, and I was like, oh my god, this is David Lynch's music. And I got like, even though you've only shown me this very small snippet of this song, I got really excited. I was like, oh my god, this is David Lynch's music, and I got really excited.
It's funny you mentioned that. I watched it with my sister last night. When that kicked in, I was like, oh, Lynch's music.
I honestly, like, I got really excited. Like, I think there was 2 bits in this episode which I got excited, and it was when, like you say, the original Twin Peaks theme kicked in when Dale woke up. I was like, but when this kicked in as well, I was like, this.
I've got something, I love it. I mean, I should download some of his music because, like, I think I'd love it. You know, it's weird, but
no, I love it.
Like this bit, it's got this weird like snare drum kind of sound to it. Like it's like a and just the weird like lyrics over the top of it kind of thing. But yeah, I was loving it. Like,
I loved it, me.
Again, just builds the tension.
It's literally just a scene of her walking down the corridor, but I like even before she gets to the door, that scene of her just walking out, I loved every second of it. It's because of the music more than anything, if I'm honest with you.
I absolutely loved it. And it all culminates to the point where Diane gets to the hotel door and she just stands there not knowing what to do. And you hear Gunn and Cole just going, "Come in, Diane."
I mean, I can't figure out how he knew she was there. But this is Twin Peaks.
And I'm starting to believe now that anybody involved in these Blue Rose cases, they have a bit of an extrasensory perception kind of thing. You know what I mean? Just some kind of something else going on kind of thing. Yeah. And he invites Diane in. And I can't remember exactly how this goes down now, to be honest, but I think she basically says, "I'm ready to tell you now about Evil Cooper," or something.
I think she says, like, you asked me about the night Dale visited me, and I'm finally ready to tell you about it. And she, in a nutshell, she essentially says, he visited me. He didn't knock on the door. He just walked in, and cutting a long story short, he raped her that night, and she looked very distraught on it. But we find out that, I mean, I can't figure out what to take from this because she seemed pretty distraught from it. But as we find out from this scene as well, there's more to her than.
Yeah, I'm with you. I can't really work out what exactly is going on here. I love the performance by Laura Dern, the way she played this. Like, she looked like heartbroken and terrified when she was doing it. She mentions about how, like, he came in for a kiss, and she just knew straight away at that point it wasn't Cooper.
Well, she said, like, he kissed her, and she instantly felt like this feeling of dread or something.
Yeah, something like that.
I was like, wow.
So she just knew straight away it wasn't Cooper. And she explains in detail that he went on to rape her. But after that, he took her to a gas station, which is the convenience store.
See, they say this. She said this. She went, he took me to a gas station, which obviously we know is that room above the convenience store.
Yeah.
But then she said he took me to the sheriff's station or something like that. She mentioned the sheriff's station, and I couldn't figure out why she said that.
Yeah, I don't know. I missed that, to be honest with you.
I'm pretty sure this was. I'm like, might have to go back and check it. Like, I might bring it up on the next episode.
Yeah, for the finale.
But I'm almost certain she mentioned that she also went to the sheriff's station or something.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure.
We'll definitely come back to that. I mean, we'll go on from that. This is what I don't get with the whole Diane thing. She seems to have the real Diane fighting her way through at points.
Yeah, definitely.
But then she'll flip back into like evil Cooper Diane. And it ends after she explains about the gas station. She checks the text message again, and it sets her off to go for the gun in the handbag. But Albert and Tammy is just straight away just shoot her dead.
Well, she says, she's like, "I'm not me, I'm not me."
Yeah, she's
in
like,
a very robotic voice. It's like, "I'm not me, I'm not me, I'm not real," or something like that.
Yeah, and Tammy and Albert shoot her, and she just like disappears out of frame.
Yeah, she's literally vanishes, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Like, there's no bullet holes or anything. I love that.
When they first shoot her, there's blood all over the wall behind her, but then like it rewinds and she just disappears, and all the blood's gone off the wall and stuff. To the Black Lodge.
Because we actually see her in there, don't we?
We've seen it happen before though. When Laura Palmer in like episode 1 or 2, she was in the Black Lodge and she like disappeared that way off screen. Where to, I don't know, but we then get the scene with Laura, Diane, in the Black Lodge, and the one-armed man says, "You're being manufactured." I don't know why it's Arnold Schwarzenegger all of a sudden, but yeah, you're being manufactured, and she's like, "I know, fuck you."
in good old Diane's fashion.
Yeah. And her face like crumples in, and the whole body's flickering and stuff.
It's so weird.
Yeah, like black smoke comes out of her face, and
I think we get a seed, don't
another seed. Was it silver? This one though, it looked like gold when it came out, but on the chair it looked silver almost.
Oh, really?
It might just be a light.
I
thing,
didn't actually see that. I just remember it being gold when it came out of the face.
So another person's been manufactured, but whether this means Diane's been killed or what, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe we'll find out next week.
Is Judy Diane in that jail cell?
Oh, God, imagine.
Never know. But yeah, that's pretty much where we leave that scene there. We then move on to Dale arrives at the casino, and the Mitchums have arranged the plane for him, and he has to say goodbye to Janie E and Sonny Jim. And again, I found this quite emotional, to be honest with you.
Oh, it was? This was very emotional.
What he's saying goodbye to them, because you've been saying for weeks that it's not going to end well, kind of thing, the whole JDE plot line. But yeah, he's telling him he's got to go away for a while, but he makes a error at one point. It says, "Look, Dougie will be," referring to Dougie as somebody else, and they're like, "What? You're not Dougie?" And he's like, "Look, I'll come back." And even Sonny Jim's like, "You're not my dad." And it's like, I am your father. Like, there's no doubt about it, kind of thing.
I feel like Sonny Jim, he starts shouting at one point, though, doesn't he? Like, "You are my father! You are my father! You are my father!"
Yeah. And he's just adamant and said, "I am your father." Because in a roundabout way,
he is, really.
Sonny Jim's the child of Dougie Cooper, who's like a clone of evil Cooper, who's a clone of Cooper.
Yeah.
So in a roundabout way, he is his father.
He is, one way or the other.
Yeah, so he's just adamant, "I am your father, and I will come back."
I guess if there was a DNA test of them, he would be the biological father, wouldn't he?
Mm.
But like your theory from before goes, like about how he's going to make another version of himself for them, like from himself. So instead of it being the evil not the evil, but the sloppy Dougie that they had before,
Yeah,
it's
the
going
prostitute using gambling Dougie Jones.
It's going to be like a good clone of.
Going to be a coffee drinking, thumbs up in Dale Cooper.
That would be the best dad, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so he lives in there. Even like Janie says to him, "I don't care who you are, just don't go," kind of thing. Like, she's just adamant to keep it. Yeah. And he's like, "I'll be back, you just let me go to do this job." And he leaves them with the Mitchums, but they're both heartbroken, kind of thing. I'm just wondering now, just thinking about it, whether Cooper's going to survive the series. he might leave a clone of himself behind with Janie, but him and Evil Cooper might have to kill each other to get back to the Black Lodge or something.
Maybe.
To end the whole thing. So he leaves them with the Mitchums in their limo. And I think you mentioned this earlier. He's like drinking a coffee out of like.
Is this where it is in the back
glass,
of the back of the limo?
The back of the limo. That like James Belushi orders like a Bloody Mary or something. Gets that passed over, and he's just there with a coffee in the middle. And he explains, guys, we're going to the sheriff's department at Twin Peaks. They're like, Dougie, we're not usually welcome in those kind of locations. It's like, that all changes today, fellas. I know you've both got hearts of gold, so it's all changing now. And then like one of Mandy, Candy and Sandy are like, they really do. It's so weird.
I love that though. I like you say, I love these scenes with the Mitchum brothers. I love it. But what does that just mean that the Mitchum brothers just all of a sudden going to be like, even though they were mob bosses, like they're just
because they've helped Dale Cooper. It's like, you've got hearts of gold.
You're off. You're off for every crime you've ever committed.
That is one thing, actually, though. I do love the fact that Dale Cooper just kind of loves everyone around him. Like early on, he was saying to Bushnell, like, you're one of the best guys, the most honourable men I've ever met, that kind of thing. And to Janie E, like he was like giving her plaudits and stuff, saying how good she was and stuff.
I mean, thinking back to the original series, what's his name? The FBI agent, the one Albert. He when they first introduced him in the original series, he's like, right, he can be a bit standoffish, but he's a great guy. He's always been that with people. He's always loved people, everyone. He's always been.
And everyone else was like, really? He's a great guy. He's like, yeah, he's a great guy.
No, yeah.
And Albert was like swearing at people and stuff.
But he's like, no, just give him a chance. He's a great guy, kind of thing. I agree. He really does seem to just have a love for everyone around him.
He's just a great character. And I think he's my favourite TV character, to be honest, ever. Like, he's so
he is
good.
Amazing. I can see where that's. I can agree with that, to be honest.
Yeah. And then we're coming to the end, to be honest with you. We then go from there too. So we know that Dale Cooper's back on the way to Twin Peaks. We then cut to the Roadhouse. Audrey's finally made it to the Roadhouse with Charlie. They rock up at the bar, and we get a performance from Eddie Vedder on stage, but performing under the name Edward Severus III, I think. I don't know whether that's his real name or not. It might be, to be honest. I'm not going to check, but he's the lead singer of Pearl Jam, and he's just doing this random, acoustic performance kind of thing on his own, very weird. But he does the whole song. It's great performance. And after that, we then get announced Audrey's dance. Yeah,
it's like, okay, next up, ladies and gentlemen, is Audrey's dance. And literally the entire crowd just part and they leave the dance floor open.
Yeah.
And this, I feel like this is reminiscent to the original series as well, because we've had like in the original series we had Audrey dancing in the middle of this floor alone before, so it was it was very reminiscent of that for me.
And the music, I'm sure you recognise the music was from
definitely
series 2 as well.
Definitely, yes.
That weird jazz kind of music, and she just starts dancing. Charlie's like, what the fuck's going on? She just starts dancing on the stage. Have you got any opinion over who attacks that person in the crowd? She's dancing, and a guy runs over, shouts something at a guy in the crowd, and smashes like a glass over his head.
He says, doesn't he, that's my wife?
Yeah.
Or something. So, I mean, I don't know if, do you know in the little scenes in the booths where we've spoke about some people with wives and...
Yeah.
And maybe that's something to do with that. I can't be 100% convinced on it, but I'm starting to think that maybe some of the scenes, maybe not all of them, but some of the scenes in the Roadhouse are purely part of Audrey's imagination.
I totally agree. Either her imagination or some weird other Black Lodge going on or something just some weird
or White Lodge.
Yeah, something like that maybe.
Yeah, because
it's very weird.
Because it all seems very weird that's been going on there. And last episode we obviously seen that screaming girl in the Roadhouse, and I haven't got a clue what she's doing, but Yeah, I have to believe that. Well, I don't have to believe, but like I choose to believe that, like maybe, yeah, it's all part of her little imagination, or like you say, like part of the White Lodge. But we'll get to that at the end of this scene.
I agree with you definitely. There was a scene the other week in the Roadhouse where two girls were talking about a character called Tina, and the only way we've heard of Tina is through Audrey's phone call.
Yeah,
that was in her scene. You know what I mean? So it's like it could all be just tied together.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe this is one of these characters is the wife of the person that got, or the wife of the person that punched the person or something.
Yeah,
something like that.
But then, as the dance goes on, Audrey, then flashes to her. She's shrieking at Charlie, "Get me out of here, Charlie!" But then it cuts to her in like a white room, no makeup on, just shrieking at herself in the mirror. And you hear like an electric charge just over the background, which, as we know, is like a bad sign.
I mean, I believe, I don't believe we said this exactly, but I think we did say in a previous episode that that Charlie guy would be her psychiatrist. Is that the right?
Yeah, like her therapist or
therapist,
something,
essentially. Yeah, and I think we did say that in an earlier episode. So, like, yeah, we kind of expected that.
Yeah, on the right lines, kind of thing.
We kind of expected that Audrey was going to not be right in the head, and as of the beginning of this episode as well, we kind of learned that there's a good reason for it as well. Not only did at the end of the second season did she get blown up in a vault, but we now know that she was actually raped
by Evil Cooper,
and she given birth to a child,
a demon child,
essentially.
Just one other little detail on that. Before the dancing happened, Audrey and Charlie were at the bar, and Charlie offers a toast saying "to us," and she's like, "To Billy."
Yeah.
Who this Billy is, I don't know.
I was going to say, who is Billy?
Yeah. Whether it's part of her delusion or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I mean, are we assuming it's a delusion, or are we thinking she's in the... It feels to me like it's got to be a delusion. It's got to... Like, I think she's kind of lost it. Like, rightly so. I think rightly so, but... like, I think she's lost it a bit.
It must play in with the finale. It must do, somehow.
I can't wait for this next season. Yeah. That's the end of the episode, isn't it?
It is. It just finishes then with a shot of the band playing everything backwards. Did you notice that?
Was it playing it backwards?
Drums backwards and everything, like as if like you were in the Black Lodge or something.
Oh my God, maybe that's it then. I didn't click onto that, but maybe that's it then, yeah.
Yeah, playing the drums and the cymbals are all just going everything. They've recorded it and played it backwards, basically.
Maybe it is like the White Lodge then.
Yeah, so we end there. But the only point I want to make for next week is that I think I mentioned it to you. Excuse me. Everything now is heading to the sheriff's department at Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
And it feels like they're literally placing people there in the department. So like James is there, the English dude with the power glove is there. Who we think is Judy is there. Chad. I don't know what part Chad's going to play.
Yeah, I don't know what part Chad's going to play, but he's there still.
But it feels like everyone's being placed at the sheriff's department. Like next episode, I imagine like maybe Big Ed or something will probably end up going there.
Maybe, but we know that Dale Cooper's on his way.
Bobby will be there. Sheriff Truman will be there.
Hawk will be there.
So
we know that Evil Dale's going there. We're aware that Good Dale's going there. The Mitchum brothers are going. I don't know what the Mitchum brothers are going to have to do with it, but they're going to be there anyway.
Can't wait to see what it'll be.
But literally, there's going to be a big amalgamation of all these characters in one place, and
the whole cast.
I can't wait for it whatsoever.
Yeah,
it's going to be amazing. Like, one thing I will say, I am quite curious to see, because I feel like Laura Palmer had a part to play in the beginning, but we've not seen her since.
She's definitely coming back.
I'm curious to see what her part in the next episode will be, because I feel like there's got to be some appearance from her there.
I'm just thinking, will Sarah Palmer be arrested for the murder of that guy or something? Or she'll end up in the jail cell as well?
Oh, maybe. Oh, God.
Something like that, maybe.
So it's all very exciting. I can't wait. It'll be one more week and we'll be...
And the finale, we'll know. We'll know what's going to happen. Yep.
Can't wait.
So yeah, we're all done. Are you okay with that?
I'm happy. I've finished everything I need to say about the episode.
Great stuff. Just a quick bit of social media.
Before we do, I'd like to rate it if that's okay.
Oh God, yeah, I forgot about that.
I mean,
I'll let you go first because you know what mine is.
It doesn't need it. It won't take very long. I'm giving it 5 stars. This is a 5-star episode. I think I've given the last 3 or 4 5 stars, and this to me is. I mean, if I could, I'd give it a 5.5, 6 star out of 5. But this is a top-notch episode. This was amazing.
I've loved it. I mean, I heard something on another podcast the other day, and they were loving it, and they're comparing it to like 2001, even though it's a TV show. Because they're saying it's going for a similar thing. It's going to make you feel something as opposed to making any logical sense. Like it's just trying to make you feel emotions, and that's what that film does.
No, yeah.
And I totally agree. I think it's amazing.
No, it's amazing.
5 stars for me. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, so you're okay to jump into social media?
Yeah, we'll just finish off there. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so you can catch me at Taylor1980.
I'm at DSTE Nick.
And do you know the other?
I do know the others. We have a main podcast, which is at DST Podcast on Twitter. And we have a Facebook, which is facebook.com/DST Podcast. Or if you can't be asked typing the URL, just type in Don't Spoil the Ending Podcast in the little search bar at the top and you'll find us.
Nice one. So if you've got any feedback, any questions, anything at all you want to tell us, whether you like the show, you don't like the show, hit us up on Twitter and Facebook. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so I think we're pretty much done before the finale, the big finale next week.
Can't wait for next week. It's going to be the final episode of this, and that means we've done 17 episodes of this show. 18 if we include Mulholland Drive.
Oh, so it'll be 17 with Mulholland Drive.
Oh, is it?
Because 1 and 2 were joint as well.
Oh, God, yeah. You're very correct.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been a long path, but we're nearly there. Yeah,
I'm excited to finish, mainly because I'm excited to see the finale.
Yeah,
like I'm really anxious to see this finale.
I can't wait. Like I say, I'm just quite proud of it. We're podcasting now for nearly 2 full TV shows.
We were talking before, with this episode. If we include the Game of Thrones one we've done as well, we've actually done, between me and you, we've done more episodes than the actual main podcast. Yeah,
we'll have finished on how many Game of Thrones were there? 7?
7, yeah.
We'll have finished on 24 TV podcasts.
And we've not even gotten that far on the
on the main podcast.
Podcast.
Yeah, so if you look back to the start of the year, I never thought would have done that much TV podcasting.
No, neither did I.
It's quite an accomplishment. If you feel differently, feel free to let us know. Please contact us. But yeah, I've been loving every minute of it, and I can't wait for the finale now next week.
Same, definitely, yeah.
Great, so we'll leave you there. Tune in next week for the finale, and I'm sure it's going to be epic.
Definitely. Thanks very much for listening.
Yep, cheers guys. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.